You are listening to the First Down Breakdown with Beast and Breeze picks.
Like I've been ballin' cause I'm really ballin'. I wanna buy the Jags, I'm not really sorry.
What is going on, folks? Welcome back to the First Down Breakdown. As always, my name is Beast Picks. This is my guy Breeze Picks. And we're here for week 15 of the NFL season, man. We've been doing this kind of all year long. Winning bets, man. We're both sitting here with positive records, and I'm just excited kind of to wrap it up as far as this season goes because we didn't know how this was going to go. And this has kind of been a pretty successful season so far. So we're going to try to keep it going. How are you feeling today, Breeze?
Doing all right. Kind of been struggling the past 3 weeks, but 2-2 last week. Don't love this card this week either, so trying to keep it for a few plays for you guys. But yeah, I think it always gets tough towards the end of the year with teams getting eliminated from the playoffs and teams fighting for playoffs. It's always tough to bet on. So
yeah, definitely. We were kind of mentioned before the show. I mean, obviously, to start, it's very early where we're recording, guys, so it's tough sometimes to get that energy fired up. We're guzzling coffee and shit, whatever we got to do. But man, with all these division games and stuff and all these battles for the especially the NFC wild card, when we were looking at it before the show, there's like 5 or 6 teams all fighting for that last wild card spot. I believe right now the Rams are slotted in as your first wild card, and then there's like 5 or 6 teams all within a game, and it's going to get really interesting to wrap up the season. And I'm just excited to kind of see how it plays out. But from a betting standpoint, it changes things because you're like, man, anybody could, kind of step up, and you don't know which teams are going to show up. So, but we got 2 Saturday games this week. Obviously, we got the Thursday night game we'll get to in a minute here. Kind of excited, man, with Christmas is around the
I
corner.
totally forgot about the Saturday games.
Dude, we got 2 Saturday games.
I actually like it.
Yeah. I kind of like it. I mean, obviously we got a lot of college football this weekend, but adding in a little NFL on a Saturday.
We're watching those BS bowl games.
Hey, I probably will throw a couple bets out there, but hey, man, we're here for the NFL. We'll get to those Saturday games, but let's start off with the Thursday night game. I know you got to play on this one. I almost did, but I'll let you lead it off, man.
Yeah, so in this one, both teams honestly are red hot. So you could definitely go either way. I'm taking the Chargers +3. I just think it means more to them. Chiefs, feel like their defense has played unreal the past couple of weeks. Just don't know how great they still are. I know they've been playing better, but I feel like they're going to really be tested here with this Chargers offense. So taking the 3 points with the Chargers, and they're at home, so that's big for me. I'd love taking a home underdog. So I'm taking the +3 here. I think it was 3.5. It dropped to 3. And honestly, wouldn't mind sprinkling a little money line here.
Yeah, definitely. I wanted to go Chargers. I don't know. I held off. Like you said, I wasn't a huge fan of the slate overall. So I was like, I got to be really careful with all my plays. But I kind of agree. The Chargers have been playing really good ball right now. I think everybody's kind of, myself included. I mean, obviously, I had the Chiefs last week -9.5, so I definitely believe in them. But at the same time, you're right. You're getting a home underdog. Chargers haven't looked bad either. The last 2 weeks, I'm looking at it right now on my phone. They blew out the Bengals. Obviously, we were at that game. I will say, like, the Bengals really screwed things up. But hey, I mean, they held them to 22 points, so defensively, that's not bad. And then last week, obviously, they smoked the Giants. So whether you want to believe it or not, like, they're playing really good ball. They put up 41 and then put up 37. So I agree. Both these teams are red hot right now, kind of coming into this game. And talk about fighting for a playoff spot. Chargers are right in that they can't lose games right now. You start dropping games, you're going to lose those spots. At 8-5, they're not really that far behind a team like Kansas City.
Another thing is, I'm looking at the over/under. It's at 52.5. Wouldn't mind taking under either because this is a divisional game. I expect it to slow down a little bit. Chargers are definitely going to slow down the ball. They're going to want Mahomes, picking them apart. So I wouldn't mind doing the under here either, but I'm just on Chargers. I think whoever wins this game probably is. I think if Chargers win, they take the lead for AFC West. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I was going to say I think it would be pretty tight.
Yeah, they beat the Chiefs earlier in the year and they put them both at 9-5. So I think they'll jump over them. So yeah, it's a
Yeah.
huge game for the Chargers. I don't know if they'll step up, but
Hey, I heard
I'll take my chances with 3. They don't have to
yeah,
necessarily
Eckler's
win.
looking better. Like I think he's practicing and everything, so it sounds like
Yeah,
Eckler is going to go.
and
I was
Allen's
looking
back
at that
from
big.
COVID, I think too.
What's that?
I think Keenan Allen's back from COVID as
Right.
well.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say getting both those guys, healthy is always gonna be big. So, but as far as the Saturday games go, I'll lead it off because I believe you had a play on this game too. We don't have anything on the 4 o'clock game, but I do have a play on that 8 o'clock game, which I'd rather have the 8 o'clock game if I'm gonna bet on it anyways. It just is gonna be the better game, and you get it prime time. So we're gonna be watching that Saturday night. I can guarantee that. It's Indianapolis and the Patriots. I'm taking Indy -2 in this game. And I think the common play from everybody, and it looks like it has been, I believe 57% of bets are on New England. Everybody's going to be like, man, 9-4. Patriots are looking better than anybody defensively. I'm in full agreement. They've looked great. But I mean, you're going to Indianapolis. The Colts have not looked bad either. 4-1 their last 5 games, and that only loss was to Tom Brady and the Bucks, who arguably are the Super Bowl, favorites right now. So, being honest, I don't even consider that. And it was a close loss. I mean,
They
they
could have
lost by.
won that game.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
should have won that game. Honestly, they let the Bucks back in that game. Let Tom Brady do Tom Brady shit. Tom Brady's just the GOAT for a reason, but I mean, that was a game they should have won. I just think Indy getting, only 2 points at home feels like such a trap. They want you to take the Patriots. Everybody's going to see 9-4 Patriots, 7-6 Colts. Colts aren't
yeah,
that bad. Like I said, 4-1 their last 5. This feels like a perfect opportunity. Fade the public. I'm looking at the bet percentages right now. 57% of bets on the Patriots, but 74% of the total money on the Colts. That means you got sharp money coming in. They're not getting trapped by this. And then anytime I'm looking at a team like the Patriots that are red hot coming into a game like this, like I said, Vegas wants you to, take them. I'm going to take a team and, kind of just fade that in a way.
yeah. I'm on the same side as you here. But what I did is I put them in a teaser, so I got them plus 3.5, which is even better. If they lose, I don't see them
Okay.
losing by more than a field goal. However, I agree with you. This is another spot, just like my Chargers bet. I think at home, underdog, embracing the role here.
Yeah, for you underdog, not for me, but I'll take it.
Yeah, for me, I got
Yeah.
them as an underdog. I just don't see the Patriots stopping the run here. Like Jonathan Taylor's easily, I think, the MVP this year.
Right.
And I don't see them stopping him. I know their defense is playing well, but just comes down to Carson Wentz not fucking it up. So if they run the ball and like execute that way, I think it'll open up the play action, which takes a lot of pressure off Carson Wentz to not force shit. So I think this will be probably the best game of the week, honestly. But I like the Colts here.
Yeah, I agree. I believe both these teams are coming off bye weeks as well. So I don't know how much that factors in, but you look at that New England and Buffalo game, on the 6th, it
Yeah.
was 14-10, ugly game. So anyways, man, we'll get to those Sunday games. Do you got any 1 o'clock games if you want to hit them?
Let's see. Yeah, so I have the great battle of the NFC East, the Cowboys and the Giants.
Okay.
What a
Yeah.
what a game. But I am taking the Giants plus 10.5. I think it's way too many points. I love betting divisional games, especially the underdog.
Yeah, they're at home.
10.5 at home. I think it's way too many points. I was so pissed off last week with Washington against the Cowboys. I had Washington
Yeah.
literally. Well, I got the line at plus 4.5. It went up to 6.5, and people lost because of a PAT being missed. So brutal for everyone who had Washington last week. I don't know what the hell we're doing the first half. Decided to wake up in the second half, but anyways, I think the Giants defense is not right up there with Washington, but I think they're good enough to hold the Cowboys down. And the Cowboys, man, they just have not looked great the past couple weeks. I don't know what it is, but they're kind of wheels are falling off the wagon a little bit for them. And as we get later into the season, they're probably just going to look to win games and not cover, in my opinion. So I think 10.5 later in the season is a huge number to take. So I'm on Giants plus 10.5 here.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and you were talking about the defense for the Giants. I'm looking at their opponent points per game right now, and
Not
they're number 4 in the league as far at home. I shouldn't say full season. I'm not. They're probably more like middle of the road, but at home for whatever reason, they play a very stout defense, only allowing let's look at it, 18 points per game, but on the road 28.9. Like it just none of it makes sense to me. It's such a huge gap. Like a full 10 points. But hey, man, you're getting a team at plus 10.5. The Cowboys kind of have that weird way that they come out and they'll ball out one game, and then they'll do a thing like what they did against Denver, where they were at home and they got smoked by Denver. So like I don't know, man. I am fully in on the Cowboys, but sure as hell do they really fall apart at times.
Fucking piss me off.
Well, I like Cowboys probably because they've won me some bets this year, but
like I'm the opposite. Every time I take them, they don't cover. I fade them, they don't.
Right.
They fucking decide. They're going for 2 points conversions and shit all of the Washington games. Like, what are you fucking doing? Just kick it.
Yeah.
They literally converted 3 2-point conversions. Oh my God, this is great.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys win this game and probably more like touchdown or 10 points.
Yeah,
But I agree. You're getting 10.5 points for a team at home. It could be an ugly game. New York likes to have these ugly games, like when they lost to Miami 2 weeks ago, 20-9, and then they beat the Eagles 13-7 the prior week. Like they just you're right. They kind of play a style of defense in games that they're close in, or they get blown out. You never know with Giants either.
Yeah.
So, but I like that play a lot. You're getting a full 10.5 points. Same reason, that I've taken teams at such large numbers in the past, and I'm going to be doing it at some point in here. I could get to it if we want. If we want to keep, we'll keep it going. How about Detroit Lions plus 13.5? Let's fucking go, baby.
My God.
We got the 2 stinkiest teams in the league going.
They log off.
Yeah, pretty much. You got the Giants. I got the even worse Lions plus 13.5. Man, I really didn't want to do this, but you're telling me that this line got all the way up to 13.5. I finally had to bite. And I've kind of held off from doing this with the Lions this year. But I think it's a good opportunity. The Lions have played better at home, not that much better, but they have had some games at home where I've been kind of impressed. Obviously, they beat the Vikings 2 weeks back, home game. They show up at home. It doesn't really make sense to me. I don't know what their point differential is off the top of my head at home games versus away games, but they play better at home. In Arizona, while they are the superior team, and I think Arizona is very good, a lot of people are going to say, oh my God, Kyler Murray, we got to jump on this. They're going to be pissed off after the game against the Rams. Yeah, they probably will be pissed off, but at the same time, the Lions, for whatever reason, are like trying to win games, even though they should just completely tank. They should put Jared Goff on the bench and bring in Tim Boyle or whoever the hell, else you have at backup. People are going to fade the Lions in this game because they're going to say, oh, we got to take Kyler Murray, and the Cardinals are fighting for the playoff spot. Hey, let them win by 13. Let them win by 10. I don't care. You're giving me plus 13.5 in the NFL. Home underdog. I don't know why I'm doing it. I really don't know why I'm doing it to myself, but I have to take the Lions in this game. And this isn't even a homer play. It's just that's so many points. It's the same reason I took Jacksonville a couple weeks back.
We're the Lions, though. Dude, we're going to lose by 20.
I know we looked bad against
Kyler
Denver
Murray is going
week.
to absolutely take a fat shit on the logo and be like, see you guys.
Hey, everybody's going to look at the game against Denver last week and be like, oh, that's the Lions. Like, they're that bad. They lost by
they are.
They lost by like 28 to Denver.
They are.
And we are bad. But at home, we're a little bit better.
Dude,
We stayed in games against teams like Baltimore at home. Yeah, obviously you were at that. We should have beat Baltimore, and obviously I'm just saying, man. For whatever reason, we play better at home. I'd love to know what our point differential is. I could probably look it up off
All
the
I
top
gotta
of my head.
say is good luck, soldier. Because
Seriously, going into
that
battle, man.
that shit is gonna be a slaughterhouse, in my opinion.
Let's see what average scoring mark. I could probably pull it up off the top of my
I
head
know
real quick.
Hopkins is out, but I mean, still, dude, like
Oh, it's still pretty bad at home, but
Cardinals' offense is just
but
gonna
it
tear
is
them
better.
apart.
Yeah, I mean, we're bad, like I said, but we're gonna cover. We're
Not
gonna
at all.
cover. I can tell you that. So, do you have any more 1 o'clock games?
Oh,
You're disgusted with me. I can tell. Hey, I'm disgusted with myself.
we're gonna come on next week and you're gonna be like, why the hell did I pick the Lions?
Hey, they're gonna cover, man. 13 points, 13 and a half points.
I don't have any more 1 o'clocks. The last play I have is teasing down 49ers.
Okay.
I think it was 8, but now it's 9. So unfortunately, when I tease it down, I got them at -3. Hopefully, they don't win by 3 because then we get screwed. But I think they should kill the Falcons. Falcons' offensive line is honestly one of the. I don't know how this team is 6-7. Like beats me. Um,
They're
but
not good, yeah.
yeah, I just think their offensive line is like one of the worst in the league. And then you're going against the Niners, who have one of the best defensive fronts in the National Football League. I just think Matt Ryan's going to get absolutely rocked in this game, and they got to go on the road. I don't expect this being a close game. I think they'll win by a touchdown. I don't know if they'll cover 9, but I think the Niners should at least win by 4 to 7 points in this one.
Yeah, it's a good spot to tease them down because I agree. I was kind of looking at the 49ers. I almost took them -9, but I was like, you know what? That's a lot of points. And once again, we said these big underdogs, a lot of times all you need is like a late touchdown or something. So getting them down to -3, you said you have them at?
Yeah, -3, and then I have Colts +2.5 as the other side.
Yeah, so I mean that's solid, and you're getting two teams that I think are, good football teams in this league. And I completely agree with your point on Atlanta. Atlanta is not good. And when you really want to look at some of their wins, like I'm just looking at their last 5 games at the moment. They beat Carolina and they beat Jacksonville. And Carolina has had all the mess of, this Cam Newton
They
getting
suck.
benched. They're
They
not
suck.
good. I wanted to believe Cam Newton was like the
Suck.
answer. He's just
I was pumped up for him. I hyped him up. He sucks.
he's just not
Not good
what we're
anymore.
used to. No, he's not. And we kind of saw it with the Patriots last year, but I think he's even worse this year. So
To be
he's not.
fair, too, I don't think it's like a true showing of how good or bad he is either, because that offensive line is fucking brutal. Like when they put in PJ Walker, and I think first possession he's in, he throws a pick because he's literally like pressured up the ass. Like
Yeah,
it's
PJ
so
Walker ain't
bad,
good.
and like not having McCaffrey doesn't help.
Right. Yeah, so I mean they won that game over Carolina, but it wasn't like a super impressive win by any means. And then their last win before that was against Jacksonville, who, Jesus Christ, you want to talk about a mess? That team is an absolute mess. And Trevor Lawrence doesn't have any blocking. He's getting absolutely killed back there.
Talking
They
about
won that
drama.
game. They won that game 21-14 over Jacksonville, who I think they're worse than, the Lions, and the Lions have the worst record. I'm taking the Lions 10 times out of 10 over Jacksonville. And it's funny to me because like we're bad, but there's some teams in this league I think are even worse. We just don't always see them.
And somehow they're like 5-2 on the road now. I don't know.
Anyways, yeah. So yeah, 6-7 Atlanta Falcons are complete frauds. Not to say 6-7's a good record, but they're more like a 3-win, 4-win team, if you ask
Yeah.
me. There's a couple wins in there that they just. I believe me. I wish we could get to play the Jaguars. Like we would beat them. We would have 2 wins on the season. Like I said, I'm not trying to like talk that much shit or like talk us up that much, but at the same time, yeah, I agree. San Francisco just better team overall. So I got a couple more 1 o'clock games. So I guess I'll rip off some 1 o'clock games here. You know what? I was gonna go to another really bad team, but we'll get to a good team
Oh
first.
God.
Because I have a bad team in there too. We're gonna go Philadelphia Eagles -7 over Washington. That is a good team. I think the Eagles are good this year. I think they're probably want to talk about 6 and 7 teams. I think that they do have a shot at making the playoffs. I think they're a solid team this year. I like what Jalen Hurts brings. He seems like he's playing better than he ever has. I know there was like some injury concerns with his ankle, but he seems absolutely fine. And dude, you want to talk about teams that are probably getting hit hardest by this COVID thing? It's the Washington football
Yeah,
team.
'cause I
They
was saying,
are,
wasn't it when you said -7? Wasn't it, I'm just looking now. What didn't it open up at like 4?
yeah, it was like 4, and people were jumping all over it, trying to get it 4 or 5. Here's the thing. Jalen Hurts obviously is already good, but Washington football team's defensive line is missing like 4 guys. They're missing their left defensive end, their right defensive end. They're missing Jonathan Allen, who's absolute beast. They're missing so many pieces, and that's just naming off the defensive line. There's a potential that they could miss like 5 guys off that defense, 5 starters. It's not like we're just talking about backups. I had it written
That
down. I
game's going
probably could.
under.
What's that?
So that game's going under.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the total is like 39. Yeah, I'm looking at the defense right now.
It's
Jonathan Allen, Casey Toohill, James Smith Williams, and then Kendall Fuller, their cornerback. He's gonna be out. So that's just right there. I named off 4 starters off the defense, and then Cole Holcomb, their one of their linebackers. He's questionable. I think he's going to be back. It sounded like he practiced. He wasn't a COVID thing, but let's just say Holcomb misses it. Then you got 5 starters right there. And I
Was
know that you
Heineke
can.
playing?
What's that?
I think Heineke was like injured, wasn't he, last game? He got hurt against.
I heard Heineke's playing like he's sounding like he's good. Kyle Allen, the backup, he's got COVID. So if Heineke's out,
fuck.
you're done. You know what I mean? But Heineke's gonna play from everything they're saying. But I mean, there's a lot of injuries. So you still have Deron Payne on that defensive line. But if Deron Payne gets hurt, you know, his backup's out. I'm just looking off the depth chart right now. They have so many guys that I'm looking at just with the big O next to it because of COVID or because of other injuries. I don't want to overreact and just be like, oh, you have to take the Eagles. But at the same time, it's kind of what I'm doing because I'd probably take the Eagles -4, -5 already at home. I think that, yeah, coming off a bye, I just think the Eagles are the better team at the end of the day. You said you were like, dude, Washington really pissed me off last week. That's the kind of shit I've seen from Washington at times this year. I like Philly, and I think giving me Washington football team
Yeah.
with just a barren roster. I
But
mean, they don't.
The Eagles are so tough to cover. Like big
I know,
defense.
I know. And at home, the Eagles are 1-4 on the year. Like just on the money line, they're 1-4. So it scares the hell out of me. But
This is like the perfect like
we're
reverse.
going to be
line
playing a
movement.
practice squad practically. I mean, not to talk that much shit about the backups on Washington, but it's not going to be pretty. And
Yeah.
there's a couple teams. The Rams are having all kinds of issues with COVID right now. I didn't even mention that at the start of the show. COVID has made a huge impact on all the lines, fantasy football. Anybody knows it. You probably got guys
It
like
doesn't make sense
Odell.
to me.
Dude, it's crazy that it took
It
this
wasn't this
long.
bad. It wasn't this bad last year. People weren't even fucking vaccinated. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's wild, but they have the protocols, and I'm gonna cash in on the protocols potentially if the Eagles can just 7 points is a lot of points. I agree, but I don't.
Yeah.
This has one of those.
The only thing that worries, like if you got it at like 4 or 5, I think you're good. The only thing that worries me in these cases is like when the line jumps so much, you're basically getting like you gotta do the reverse line movement.
The second helpings basically of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's
Yeah.
like tough because like you could get screwed by like a missed PAT like last.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I didn't realize how many people that out, but God.
Yeah, that
Jesus.
defensive line specifically is going to be missing 3 guys right there, and I'm telling you what, like you take 3 guys off a defensive line. Jalen Hurts' big thing has been, you know, exploiting you in the run game. Obviously, he's got a great arm too. I just feel like this is one of those games that you look at Washington and you want to believe that, oh, they'll be okay. But like I said, they're probably bringing guys up that, have barely had snaps all year, or they're only getting like a third down snap or something. So this is going to be a different matchup than what it actually is. That's probably why the line's like that.
Mhm.
But hey, I could get screwed on it, and Washington plays absolutely fine. I'm ready for it. But my next 1:00 game, I only got 2 more plays here. So I got one more play on the 1:00 games. I got Texans +4 over the Jags. You want to talk about stink fest of the week? That game might be the ugliest game of the week. It's a rematch of week 1. So this is one of those games. I honestly, I was
Take it
looking
off your card. Take it off your card.
take it off the card. This game is going to be so ugly, and that's the point. Is that the Jaguars suck? They are bad. So do the Texans. Texans just committed to starting Davis Mills the rest of the year. I mean, they are a mess. But it's just, you want to talk about more of a mess? It's probably Jacksonville right now. I think with all the stuff going on, Urban Meyer just got fired this morning. People don't know that early in the morning. If you saw that, yeah, early this morning they fired him. So he's gone. Trevor Lawrence, I don't know.
Jacksonville's going to say this to Urban Meyer, and when they win,
Probably they'll be like, wow, we only won 2 games with Urban. Now we win 1
they're
game
going to
without
flick him
him.
off. Oh, take this game off your card, please.
Dude, I don't want to watch it. It's going to be one of those games that I'm like, please just tell me when the game's over and let me know if I cover. I don't even want to get updates on it, but I'm sure I will be. These teams are so bad. Between the two of them, I think the Texans.
Literally going to be a tank fest. It's going to be a tank.
It is. Yeah. There's a reason that they committed to starting Davis Mills, but I think the difference between these teams is small, but I think the Jags have more of a mess going on with all these reports. I mean, everything's in the media right now. I just think if you're going to have really bad teams like this, Texans getting 4 points makes no sense to me. It feels like more of a pick 'em. So if you're going to give me 2 stinky teams like this, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch it at all. Just like it'd be worse than watching, I don't know, like the Lions getting blown out.
Dry.
What's that? Yeah, worse than watching paint dry, frankly. So Texans +4, it isn't really a stat play. It just has to do with these teams suck. No team should be getting 4 points. If it was the Jaguars getting 4 points, I probably would have taken it. Like, if it was Jags +4, I would have taken it too. So sometimes I got to just take advantage of a line, and I think this is one of those opportunities. But my last play, though, is Ravens +5.5. God, I hate to do it to myself, but they are versing the Packers this week.
Your card has my eyes burning.
I know, man. This has probably got to be my worst card of the year.
Maybe I eat my words. Maybe you go 5-0. I don't know.
Hey, if I go 5-0, I'm gonna be like, man, I should really take all these dog shit teams like all year long, like the Lions and the Texans, and now I'm taking our most hated team on the podcast, the Ravens. Dude, the Ravens are not good. I'm not saying they're great, but they're coming home. I think Baltimore plays better at home. Lamar Jackson may be able to kind of finally kind of crack a code in this. Yeah, he is. He is. From everything I've heard, he's going to be good to go. So, man, I really don't want to do it, but they're 5-1 at home. The Ravens, just on the money line. They're getting points in this game, 5.5 points. Feels like a lot of points. Like I said, the Ravens play better at home. This isn't necessarily
Packers defense struggling lately too.
Well, the Packers defense I thought was really nice like 4 or 5 weeks ago, and then you're right, like the last 2 weeks. I know there was like a punt return touchdown and stuff last week with that game against Chicago. Chicago came out, man, and that was a game in Green Bay. Chicago really came out, put a big punch to the face. So they were in that game. I just think Lamar Jackson get 5.5 points in a home game.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I don't think that the Ravens are.
I did like this line for Ravens. I told you, I'm not touching them anymore this year.
Couldn't do it.
I can't touch them.
Even
fucking last week, I'm covering the whole fucking game. They put in their backup quarterback. Cleveland says it's okay. Just come back a little bit.
Yeah.
Win by 2. I have 2.5. Yeah, it's okay.
You know what? Like I said,
I
I'm
literally
not
thought
a
that
huge
game
Ravens
was over.
guy.
Thought the game was over. I load ESPN to follow like where I think I almost took the over in the Jets game. Anyone who had the over in that game, Jesus,
Right.
dude, they had no chance of hitting, and somehow the Jets got the ball. Like they scored like 14 points in the last like 3 minutes. The Jets got the ball with like 30 seconds. They're on the 1 yard line, and they didn't score with like 10 seconds left to hit
Yeah.
the over.
I
So
mean,
anyone who had that, I feel you. I didn't take it, but I was just tracking it. Like if I were to have taken it, and then
yeah.
I look, and I'm like, Ravens are only up 2. I look how much time's left. There's like a minute left, and then the Ravens get the onside kick. They almost lost outright, Cleveland.
Yeah, I was gonna say that game last week you got
I
burned.
can't.
That was
I
a
can't
tough
touch.
loss.
I can't touch Baltimore.
That
They're
was
like the
yeah,
head of like Vegas. Like Vegas tells them what to do, they execute.
and they do it. Well, I'll say this before I end that play. If Lamar Jackson doesn't play, because like you said, this is an ankle issue. I mean, he may not play. I've been kind of following his practice. They say he didn't practice Wednesday, and that kind of made me nervous on it. But I also heard reports, that maybe he is, optimistic. If he
Well,
doesn't play, suddenly that changes my play. So that's kind of the negative that we have of when we record this
well,
podcast.
I think Aaron Rodgers might not even play.
Oh, with his toe thing.
Well, I think they just might. They'd be stupid to not like start resting him for the playoffs.
Yeah,
Like, how much of a difference is it gonna? Like, they're probably not gonna win the NFC anyway. Like, it's probably gonna be Tampa. So, like, is it really gonna matter if you're like traveling on the road anyway?
right.
I don't know.
I mean, I doubt that they do rest him, but I don't like disagree with your standpoint on that. They probably could, and they probably if Lamar didn't play, that would be your opportunity. Like, hey, we don't have to verse Lamar, just throw in a
Yeah.
backup. But if Lamar Jackson doesn't play, obviously that line's gonna jump to I'm serious, it'll be like +7.5, +8. So if you guys really want to wait, go ahead. But if he does play, obviously I'm on the play. If he doesn't, I'm gonna have to suck it up and just be like, okay, 5.5 was my original play that I put on the podcast. That's kind of the negative of
Still a
us
lot of
recording.
points. A lot of points.
Yeah, it's still a lot of points. If a backup comes in, you never know. Maybe I still somehow cover that.
I mean,
But
he covered against the Browns.
yeah, so hey man, that's pretty much it for us. Do you have any more plays?
No.
All right. Yeah, wrap it up on your plays.
Do not try to suck me into these.
These ugly games like Texans.
I will say Saints look very appetizing for Sunday night, but we will see how the day goes on Sunday.
Right.
I feel like the Saints always play the Bucks well, but we'll hold off on that for now. But yeah, my plays, I got Giants +10.5. Got the teaser with Colts +3.5 and Niners -3. And then what was my last play? Chargers +3 for tonight.
Yeah, on Thursday night. Yeah, I'm excited for this Chargers Chiefs game. I've been saying to everybody all week, like this has got to be one of the best
I
games
just
of the
look
week.
the overs 72% on the over.
Yeah, that's a large number. I
You know
agree.
what?
You might be
Might
able to
not be
see some.
bad. Teaser with Chargers and the under.
Yeah, you get
Probably
like
get Chargers like
58.5.
+9. Get like 58.5.
It's a large number. It's a large number.
Won't be
So
bad, but
I don't know. Maybe I'll throw something on the side, but I don't have anything official on it. So my plays that I got are the Saturday night game, Indianapolis -2 at home against the Pats. We got Texans +4 over the just absolute, gong show Jaguars right now. What a mess that team is. Eagles -7 against Washington football team. Lions +13.5 at home against the Cardinals. And then Ravens +5.5 at home against the Packers with a little bit of question marks. I was saying probably a little bit more optimistic. I was hoping that Lamar's playing, but I just looked at that practice log on Wednesday. Now it's making me doubt a little bit, but he's gonna play. He's gonna play. I'm putting it out in existence. So, but
I mean,
when we look at our
I think
what's
he's in
that?
trying play at least. I think he's
Yeah,
in trying.
yeah, they need a win. They need a win. They got 8 wins on the year. They could really use a win. But on the year right now, I should have announced this at the start, but doesn't matter. Breeze has a record of 56, 41, and 2. That's just unbelievable. He's been really on a run. I know he says he's had a tough couple weeks, but he's still got a pretty solid record. And then I went 4-2 last week. So hey, I mean, too easy, but 51 and 46 on the year for me. So we're both up in those 50s now. So I'm kind of catching up to Breeze. I need a big week. Maybe I can throw up of like a 5-0, like you said, the ugliest card of the year with all these.
I've been getting absolutely screwed. Like I've only been playing 3 to 4 plays the past 3 weeks.
Yeah, for a reason, because the card sucks.
Well, yeah, and then like I just been getting absolute like Browns last week. Oh my god, could have easily had like 3 in 1 week basically.
Right. I was gonna say that's what sucks about having like 4 plays, 5 plays. Is it's the difference between one play, like you said. 2-2 last week from you. You could have been 3-1. You missed it by a half point, and the Browns should not have choked that away.
I added Rams late on Twitter, but if like I hit the Browns, I probably would not even played that game. So then you start reaching a little bit to get back to even.
Yeah.
But
the classic primetime Sunday night football, Monday night football.
But I texted you that morning. I'm like, dude, all these guys are out for Arizona, and like the lines moved half a point. There's no way. Like it's just like an absolute trap.
Yeah, and then people started throwing money, like fading the Rams because there was all those COVID news. But like, the COVID news, it wasn't
a lot. Yeah. I would have not touched it. But I'm like, this line's not moving. Like Vegas definitely is like trapping people.
Right. Well, and it wasn't guys like Cooper Kupp, for example. It was Tyler Higbee, who I'm not saying Higbee's very important in that offense, but he's definitely, their tight end. And then Darrell Henderson was kind of a bigger name. But they have Sony Michel as a backup. So anybody looking
was Ramsey, that was out, but I was just like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was like, this should be all right. But
right. Yeah. And I think I'm not really sure that you want to talk about another team.
Damn good.
Yeah, he did. I was gonna say Stafford, I think is trying to silence some of the hate.
My god.
He is, man. He looked good last week. He did. He looked really good.
Oh my god. Stop
classic Stafford, 1 week he looks great, and then the next week
he may
throw a pick six.
The next 3.
Yeah, he's had his ups and downs this year. We'll see what he does. If they can make the playoffs, either way. Like I would root for Stafford because I'm happy for him, but I would also root for a loss because the Lions have those draft picks. Just kind of 2021, 2022. We need the Rams to lose some games. We got that first rounder from them. So the earlier, the better. We could take that. But that's it for our show this week, guys. I am not excited about this card, but I am excited for Saturday night football and I guess Saturday day. We have 4:30 and an 8:20 game if you're on the Eastern time zone with us. But that's it for us, guys. Let's see if we can get some W's this week. If we come back next week and I got a 5-0, I'm going to be absolutely shocked because sometimes you got to take these ugly games. So you got anything else to say before we end here?
I don't know if you're going to go 5-0 with that card.
We'll see, man. Hey, lot of underdogs this week. So, but that's it for us, guys. We'll see you guys next week.
All right. See you guys.